Alright, yo, what's good, y'all? It is Jason. We're back with episode 2 of the auction reversal model series. Yesterday we talked about OTE and equilibrium. That's more so of like a thing you can use to refine entries. Today we're going to be talking about volume profile, and this is a very, very, very important part of my system. This is probably like the first thing I look at when I get on the chart, is where price is on my volume profile. So really quick, what is a volume profile? Okay, if you don't know, that's what this tool is on TradingView. There's two volume profiles: an anchored volume profile and a fixed range volume profile. And there's a few volume profile indicators you can use. I just use the regular fixed range volume profile. Okay, but before we get into how I use it, what is it? Okay, your volume profile. You can almost think of it similar to how people use a fib, but instead of it just being random arbitrary lines, it takes all of the data within that range, finds the highest transacted price, or the most transacted price, and then shows you a range, which is your fair value. It shows you your value area high, your point of control, and your value area low. Really quick, so it consists of those four things. 3 levels that show you 4 things. Your middle point is your point of control. That's the highest volume price, so that's the price that the most trades occurred at. And then the 70% range from on both sides of that is your fair value. At the high and low of your fair value, you have your value area high and value area low. Okay, really quick so you can see what it looks like on a chart. This is 2 volume profiles on a chart right here. This one is covering this full week, and this one is covering just today's regular trading hours, or not regular trading hours, electronic trading hours, from the 6 p.m. open, or 6 p.m. EST, 5 o'clock my time, and then you just let it extend right until the end of the session. So this is what it looks like on your chart. I'll just go back a little bit so I can show you how you apply it. You just select any range in price and drag it right, boom, you have your volume profile. In the settings, you can select if you want it to extend right, or if you only want to look at a certain piece of price action. So that's how it works. So here we can see within this is a bad spot to look at. I think this is a Trump candle. It is a Trump candle. But within this random leg of price that I selected, you can see this middle line is your point of control. This green line is your value area high, and this is your value area low. So what do these levels mean? So yesterday in the equilibrium video, I mentioned premium and discount, and how some people, or how ICT teaches to use equilibrium to decide your premium and discount. I don't think that's bad or anything, but I treat equilibrium as its own thing. Like, equilibrium is equilibrium. It is the middle of a range. That doesn't determine premium and discount, okay? What actually determines premium and discount is what prices people are actually willing to buy and sell at. Like, what prices are actually being transacted, not just below, above or below this line, you know? So in this example, this midpoint 2,522.3, that is your point of control. That's where the most volume happened. Then this down here, your value area low. Anything in this range or below it, you can consider a discount. So anything under your average, you can consider a discount, but I don't really consider a discount until we're out of our value area low. Because like I said earlier, the range, where my words go, oh no, there we go. The range between your value area high and low is fair value. That's your fair value range, okay? So anything between here and here can be considered fair. This is your average. Anything above here is a premium. Nobody wants to buy this high, and nobody wants to sell this low. At this point, it's like undervalued. At this point, it's a premium. So extreme premium, extreme discount, okay? When I'm looking at the volume profile, I'm only looking at how it reacts at those extremes. I want to see what happens when it comes into an extreme discount, or when it comes into an extreme premium. Are people buying it back up when it comes this low? And are people rejecting this high price when it comes this high? So really quick, I can show you a few on chart examples. Actually, before we get to the chart, let me show you this. So I used 2 profiles. These are the yes, I made a PDF. This, I didn't even make this for the video. Like, I made this for me to study, because like once I found my own system that worked, I was like, okay, this is all we're doing. So this is your These are volume profile rules. We're gonna use two profiles. Let me go back to the chart really quick. We use a weekly profile that starts on Sunday open and extends throughout the entire week, and then each day gets its own volume profile starting at session open, so 6 o'clock EST, 5 o'clock my time. So each day is going to have two profiles. There's one that goes through the whole week, and then each day gets its own profile, okay? And why do we do that? I will show you here. The volume profile is essentially how I determine my bias, or at least start my bias at the beginning of the day. So I look at the overnight price action relative to the volume profile, and from there, that's how I decide. Not just that, it's that and a bunch of other confluences, but today we're just talking about volume profile. So I look at the volume profile to determine, okay, are buyers in control, are sellers in control, are we rejecting at value area highs, are we trading through value area highs, are we selling off through value area lows, are we kind of just chopping at the point of control? It can give you a lot of information really easily. So really quick, we can just skip to this middle part. So like I said, this is how we determine your true premium and discount, okay? It's not just, oh, we're below the middle or above the middle. No, if we're in our value area low, that is like, not even like statistically or this many times out of this many times, like just the data is saying that we're at the low, we're at a discount based off of the previous price action. Really quick, back to the chart. What I'm saying is, I'll delete the weekly profile really quick. This is just overnight price action. So we can see we open pretty low and immediately gets bought back up. But we're not trading through value area highs. We're still rejecting off our value area high, and anytime we come in to our value area low, we're getting bought back up immediately. Okay. And then here, this is close to the open. Just a quick example how it would be used. You can see the last location we were in was value area high. We came up, rejected, came down, rejected, came back up, rejected again. So this is telling us buyers don't want to buy this high. Buyers like the discount. When it comes in a discount, it's getting bought back up. You can see it chop around our average price, our point of control. But whenever it comes up to this value area high, it's just wicking back down, wicking back down, wicking down, rejecting. So what do you think happens when we come into the session? Obviously some volume comes in. Give it a couple minutes to figure out what it wants to do, but as soon as it comes into this value area high, we see rejection. That's just like a really quick 3-minute example of how it can be used. All right, but back to the rules. So when we're coming into a session, we're in discount. Obviously prefer longs. We'll talk about these another day. The reactions near value area low or discount or where you want to start looking for reversals or looking for long entries. When we're at equilibrium or point of control, I usually just stay away unless it's like an obvious continuation type setup or something. But when we're just kind of sitting at point of control, you need something else to go along with it. You know, that's not much of a confluence. I treat the point of control kind of like a magnet. So it's good to trade to it. I don't so much like trading away from it unless we've already confirmed that we're in a continuation model or something. And then the same way discount works, premium works the same way. So when we're in premium, you're looking for shorts, okay? All of this, we'll go over another video when you have all the pieces, when I go over all the pieces and stuff. So that is how we use the volume profile. Really quick, back to the chart. Let me get my weekly back. Where is it? There it is, boom. So these are the two profiles, like I said, the weekly and then the overnight. We can very easily read the overnight to see when we came down into this, when we opened in a weekly discount, immediately bought back up. When we come into an overnight discount, we're buying back up, We're rejecting off value area highs. So this plus whatever other confluences you're using will just give you a lot of real insight to what's actually happening instead of just going off of like, okay, we're in the middle. I know that's not how it's not how you'd use the fib, but instead of just an arbitrary set of lines or set of levels, this is actual data. This is actual, like, what price is being transacted the most. You know, this will show you. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I don't really use the volume profile for like entry triggers or anything like that. There are times like when you're trading out of value area low, you can target value area high. When you're trading from value area high, target value area low. Maybe go break even at point of control. You know, these are just very, very significant levels that that you can use with pretty much any strategy. And I'll show you this really quick if you've never seen a volume profile. If you choose to, it can extend right with you. So if we're watching this session, we see we kind of trade up within that first 30 minutes. And then once we get around 9, that's when the reversal starts. You can see we try to get above. Let me just hit play, slow it down a little bit. We try to get above this value area high and just we can't. We chop up here for a little bit, come above value area high, fail. You can see we hesitated a bit at point of control, then sold off again. As soon as we come into this value area low, what happens? We reverse. You can see these levels will update with price because they're not just like random support and resistance levels. You can see it's not marking out like highs and lows or anything. It's going off of the actual amount of contracts and trades being transacted like during the time you select, you know? So yes, it's a very, very, very powerful tool backed by actual data that helped me a lot. Honestly, when I started studying auction market theory and using the volume profile, that's when I started seeing a lot of improvements in my technicals. Because it's not like my technicals were bad, but like I mentioned in the fib video yesterday, sometimes like some stuff just felt like guessing because I didn't have any actual. One, I didn't have like the trust in myself because I wasn't doing it for a long time. I wasn't good at it yet. But then two, the system or the strategies I was originally trying to trade were just kind of based off fucking lines and boxes, you know? And nothing against lines and boxes. I love my lines and boxes. We'll have like a fair value gap video and an inversion video, and then like a really in-depth inefficiency first fair value gap video, but we're not there yet. So yeah, kind of going on a tangent. That's volume profile. This is take 2. The first one was kind of just shitty. I'm not gonna lie, it just wasn't good. So yeah, quick update. Let me show you calendar. TradeC is cool as hell. I really like TradeC. I was kind of hesitant to get on the platform, but it's pretty dope. I did take too many trades. I didn't take 6. Just counting like each like fill as a trade. Cause I was adding in like I was scaling in the positions. But we're half past. I'm not gonna lie. I took 5 trades, but it's not 6. So, but yeah, we're half past on the eval. I have not traded the funded this week. I'm gonna try to just get through this week on the eval and then go from there. So yeah, we'll be back tomorrow with whatever video I make tomorrow. I'll see y'all then. Peace.